What's up, you guys? This is your girl Ama. Welcome back to my channel, Resilient Beauty. As always, it is always a pleasure to have you guys here on this platform so that I can share with you guys what the Lord is sharing with me. So with that being said, I am going to go over this subject of matter that is very, very important. But before I go and dive into it, I just want to say that this message, I believe, would resonate with a lot of Africans. And I know that the subject I'm talking about is worldwide. But for some reason, I feel like, it, it really hits home with a lot of Africans. But I'm sure it hits home with a lot of people. But like I said, I just think it hits home a lot with a lot of Africans. And so I pray that this does reach whomever it does need to reach. But I also pray that this does reach a lot of Africans that would be going through this. All right, so the subject of the matter is marine kingdom, a marine spirit. A lot of us and a lot of people are battling with this spirit and don't even know that they're battling with this spirit. And this spirit has been able to put certain categories of their life into shambles, meaning it's basically has been affecting certain areas of your life. But because you don't have knowledge of this, you have not been able to pinpoint or just even know much or just a little to even dive deeper and see if these things resonate with you, okay? And you guys forgive me. I've had a rough day. I had a tough day today, even though the day is not even barely over. But with that being said, I give God all the glory. I thank Him. And so bear with me in this video. I'm going to probably be doing a lot of ums, as you can see. But the marine kingdom, the marine spirit. Before I say anything, let me start off by telling you guys about this dream that I had, which I don't talk about this dream a lot. It's only a few people that I have told about this dream. But this dream happened, I want to give it between the years of 2015, I would say all the way up to 2020. The reason why I say this is because I've had this dream twice. The second time I had this dream, it was like a continuation of the dream. So I had a little bit more that happened in the dream than the first time it was given to me. Outside of that, everything remains the same. And I got that dream twice in my whole entire life. And so this is how the dream goes. The first time I had the dream, which is the same thing that happened with the second time as well. We were at a beach. It was nighttime, and there were cars parked on the back. A lot of cars, and I'm hiding. In the dream, I'm hiding behind a car. There are people lined up on the beach. And when I say lined up, they're laying down. I don't know if they were face down, face up, but they were laying down with their hands put to the side, and they were lined up on the beach. So as they're lined up on the beach, I start to see something coming out of the water. And it was huge. It was huge. It was dark. Even though it was, nighttime at the time, but you know a dark thing when you see a dark thing, and you know a thing of light when you see a thing of light. This thing was very dark. It gave no indications of, it came from light. It came from God. No, this was a dark figure thing. I don't know what to call it, but in the water, as it's coming out, because it's not like it definitely didn't have legs. definitely didn't have legs. It probably, I couldn't see inside of the water, but it definitely didn't have legs. It just kind of like floated in between the water to the surface where the people were. And it was just huge. And as it's coming towards the beach, like the land of the beach, you can see the water, like it's a swirl in the water, right? So I don't know what was going to happen, but that's where the dream ended. The second time I had the same exact dream, but this time it's like there were one or two people by where the cars were, which was somewhere near where I was when I was hiding. Now, the second time in this dream, it seemed like they knew I was there. It seemed like they knew I was there and I was watching, and they had me watching it for a reason. And so one of the people, if I remember correctly, was coming to confront me because they had spotted me. They had saw that I was hiding. So they were coming to get me. I don't know, to lay on the beach. I don't know what they were going to do. But that's where the dream ended. And so for a long time, because the dream happened earlier in my years, before I knew a lot of the things that I know now. And at the time, I could not figure out, why am I having a dream about something like this? But as time went on, as God began to reveal, as I started to learn more things, acquire more wisdom and knowledge about the occultic world, about, the dark things, dark arts, simply because it's being done to me, I have to know about it. And so once those information start coming to me, that's when I realized that this was a marine spirit. And so it got deeper because I started to realize that this was part of a blood covenant that was made ages ago. However long it was ago, I believe it was established even before my father, even before my mother. But I do believe that I was, this was part of a dedication. It's so many things, you would think, because I know I've previously said, like, being sacrificed to an idolatry or an idols and stuff like that. Let me tell you, all these things are all in one system. They're just different compartments of that system that you are being affected by. But it's all in the same, it's all one, right? And so as the Lord started revealing things about me, my family, that's when I realized that a marine kingdom spirit is something that has been in my lineage and have been affecting my bloodline. Marine kingdom spirits, I do believe they are also tied to, like I just said, one system, different compartments. They are also tied to siren spirits. I have came across people, women that I know, that they're very much tied to marine kingdom spirits, and very much tied to siren spirits, which are all the same. And so they usually have this it's kind of like Jezebel. They usually have this very lustful thing to them, like very lustful. Some of us, we just have this authentic mesmerizing look or mesmerizing walk or mesmerizing something. It's just part of I'm talking about like not natural, but a given spirit of lust. They a lot of them do sleep around a lot. That is one thing I know for sure. And that's part of the marine kingdom spirit. That's part of those siren spirits. A lot of the times that I know, they're not able to keep a man or get a man to commit to them, or a man to, become one as husband and wife with them. And that's part of the contract with the marine kingdoms and the siren spirits. You're not supposed to be married and things settle down and doing the wifely duties. That's God's way. The devil's way is the opposite of that. It's the opposite of that. So yes, the marine spirits, they do attack your love life. They do attack you. You know, it's like you have a different spirit in you. Like I said, one of the biggest spirit is that lustful spirit. But they do affect your love life. It affects your money. It affects literally almost every single thing. It affects you getting pregnant. It affects your it affects a lot of things. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and act like I know everything about the marine kingdom and marine spirits, but they're vicious. They're very, very vicious, and they're very much out here more than we think. Those who are out in the occultic world, when they, and I'm not saying all, because all the cults, they have it is one system. Again, different compartments. But some of these occults, when you join these occults, when you join these evil covens and things like that, this is something that could be required of you. You know, you will probably meet that spirit or whatever that case may be, and then that spirit is given to you, transferred onto you, so you carry that spirit away. Marine spirits and kingdom spirits, I do believe they also have a spiritual sense, meaning like a spiritual scent. It's kind of like X marks the spot. I'm gonna put X here, so I know like where to go. Like I can see it from, I know where to go. I can see it from a mile away. I know that's the spot. So the scent is kind of like it's like it lets off to other people who majority of the time is in occultic matters and on that dark side. And it's kind of like a tell-off scent. It tells them who you are as far as with the kingdom of darkness type of thing. What else about the marine kingdom spirit? But just a lot of people are taking on that spirit. A lot of people were dedicated, especially in Africa, man. It's a lot, man. But a lot of people were dedicated to that spirit. Yes, a lot of people were dedicated to that spirit. I know there is some people who are in New Age who actually, marine spirits are good, but I don't know where they take that from. I don't know where they got that from, but marine spirits are never good. They have been ruining lineages. They have been ruining generations for time after time, generation after generation, for thousands and probably millions of years. Robbing individuals in their lineage. So there's nothing good about a marine kingdom spirit or a marine spirit. There's nothing good. Those are undersea demons. Those are over. And let me tell you guys, the marine kingdom, I used to think that it was only for women, but it is not only for women. It applies to all men as well. It applies to anybody that they want to apply, want it to be applied to, or you want yourself to be applied to. Because like I said, there are people who are joining secret societies, and I'm not talking about industry, because when we talk about these things, we go so far into industries and people. No, it's right in the backyard. The people you see locally every single day, there's a lot of people that are very much entangled in these type of spiritual things, who are entangled into secret societies, entangled into secret covens, witchcraft and war, all kinds of stuff. They're all kind of wicked stuff. They're tied to these things. You understand? They're tied to these things. But I just wanted to scratch the surface level of this discussion. I do plan on coming back with deeper information, coming back with deeper revelation. because I want the Lord to really take his time and reveal more to me that I already know. So with that being said, I just wanted to make this short video just to let some of you guys know and confirm to you, if you felt that, if the Lord has been bringing certain information to you, he has been bringing certain signs to you, because that's how it started with me. I didn't just wake up one day and know these things. You get what I'm saying? I lost a lot of friends, a lot of people, because my life changed. My mindset changed. My talk changed. What I know changed. So God has a way of bringing things to you to bring it into awareness about this is what you're going through. Trust me, y'all know this. He has a way. So if the Lord has brought this to you a few times and, showed you like, hey, this is something that you may be dealing with, I advise you to definitely dig deep and ask the Lord to reveal more onto you, because these type of spirits, marine kingdom spirits, they're not just small spirits, bro. They're not just small system. You know what I'm saying? Like I said in my previous videos, it's one thing to do witchcraft, voodoo, hoodoo, whatever, all these little crazy little names in the kingdom of darkness on your own. But it's another thing to be involved in the whole system. And when I say a system, I'm talking about the devil's system. When you're dealing with the system, it's deeper. And I'm not saying this because this can't be broken. This can be broken. Anything can be broken through the blood of Christ. Anything can be broken through God just saying one word or raising his hand. Anything can be broken. But I'm just also telling you that this is also a challenge, that you can be challenged with these things of it being broken, because those type of spirits are heavy. Those type of spirits are heavy because it's a deep system that's been going on for thousands and hundreds of years. So I know this is random, but I'm hearing the Lord say, and so the reason why he reminds us that there's only certain things that can be broken through fasting. But if you know you have a marine kingdom affecting your life, or a marine kingdom spirit affecting your life, this is something that you need to put your attention to and go in the spirit and do the work. Let the Lord lead you on how to break these things off of yourself, how to break these things off of your lineage, how to break these things off of your children. Because sometimes, like as I said, when covens like this are established in the bloodline, I don't care, you know what I'm saying? Unless you're doing the work with the Lord, these things can be transferred. Marine kingdom spirits affect your decision making. It affects your lifestyle. It affects you a lot. Sometimes those I'm hearing the Lord say this. I think I did say this previously in the video about scent. But literally, it's like X marks the spot when you're dealing with these type of systems, these type of kingdoms built in the devil's name. When it's like they mark you. So you're thinking, oh man, that's why, I'm saying this and I know I'm all over the place. It reminds me of what my godmom used to say. She's like, some people know you before you even think you know they know you. That coincides with what I'm about to say. It's like they mark you. So you thinking you're just walking through life regularly, blah, blah, blah. And then you're attracting certain things. And like I said, before in my other video, it varies with people. Some people have things that are affecting them because of their parents. Some people have things that are affecting them because of witchcraft, this person, that thing. And then sometimes people have things affecting them because you have all those things. Me, personally, I have all those things. You know what I'm saying? It's not just 1A or 1B. It's 1A, 1B, 1C, 2A, 2B, like that, right? And I'm saying that for a reason. But literally, it's like you think you're walking through life regularly, but you've been marked. And so you're attracting the opposite of what it is that God wants because you've been marked. And when they dedicated you to that coven, when they dedicated you to that spirit, to that siren spirit, that marine kingdom spirit, they marked you. And so this is why we have to go into the spiritual world and do the work within ourselves with God so we can break these things off of us. Break that aura, that cloud that's been following you based off of the fact that someone dedicated you or someone made a contract in the bloodline, that all those things from way back then is transferring. God gave me that dream for a reason. That was him telling me that people are being sacrificed for them to have, these are people who are not the two people in the car, and then there was other people. So these people, I believe, are already in the kingdom, the marine kingdom, and they're just working to recruit. So what I saw, oh Jesus, thank you. So what I saw on that beach, I got the chills. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Holy Spirit. They were all there. They have already been established with that coven. And so they were recruiting those people that were laid on the beach. I want to believe that they were there knowingly, that they made that choice, but everything inside of me makes me to feel like they were sacrificed. They were laid on the beach. I'm in the dream watching. I'm in the dream watching. Wow. I don't talk much about my spiritual gifts on here. And, after the few days that I've been having people attack me on here, I don't think I'm even going to open up about what the Lord does with me as far as spiritual wise, what my gifts are. But one thing for sure, my dreams don't never lie. Baby, I'm very powerful when it comes to the dream world. Glory be, thanks be to God. That's something that, I'm going to just leave it at that. So all my dreams are very prophetic, very, very, very telling and very prophetic. Very, very. Trust me. And he gave me that dream twice. And that was his way and indication to let me know this is what is going on in the background of your destiny. This is what is being played on when it comes to your life. And so I wanted to upload this video and just say, if the Lord has shown you some signs, if the Lord has brought this to you, that means he's telling you that this is something that has been fighting you and been fighting your bloodline in the background. And because he has chosen you, because you are called, because you're the one that he has picked out of the generation to break these things, he has to bring these things to you. He has to show you every bit and pieces of every single thing that has been playing in your background, because you are chosen to break these things, and you will break them before you leave this earth. But just like a lot of us, some of us are going to need help. Some of us are going to need encouragement. Some of us are going to have to go through these things and get on the YouTube or whatever platform and talk about these things and bring more awareness to these things so that people can start paying attention to what God is showing them, so they can start breaking these things off of their bloodline, because it's bigger than you. I will be touching bases again on this subject. I promise you guys, because this subject reaches so deep, and it needs to be dissected well. And 23 minutes ain't no enough time. But I just wanted to scratch the surface level of this subject, and just put that out there in the algorithm. You get what I'm saying? Just put that out there so that people, when they hear this and they know they've seen a few signs and they know there's things playing in, and they know they're fighting spiritual warfare. They don't know exactly the names of these things or what it's been. When they hear this, like I say in all my videos, you will know within yourself. This is for you, a confirmation for you that this is something that God needs you to pay attention to, because he called you out of your generation. He chose you. He birthed you for such a time and such a thing, to break this off of yourself and off of your lineage. I love you guys. I will see you guys in the next video, and I will definitely keep you guys updated on when I'm going to drop a very needed deep, dissected conversation about marine kingdoms and marine spirits. Love you guys. Keep your head up. Keep pushing. Keep, stay in position. Don't let nobody take you out of position that the Lord has placed you in. Keep on trusting in the Lord. It is hard to say it. Trust me, I know it firsthand. It is hard. And it's better said than done. But you continue to fight with the Lord. You continue to stay in position. Continue to pray for his strength. And continue to ask him for discerning spirit, wisdom, and knowledge. And that he continues to reveal the things in your lineage and covenant that needs to be broken so you can do the work. I love you guys. Take care. Bye.